Somewhere in your house, there's probably a photo of you as a baby, being held, crying, living through moments that felt, to you, like your entire world. You remember none of it. Not 1 second. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand something stranger than that. That those forgotten years never actually left you. They're still running your life right now, today, and you have no idea. Here's the science behind the years you lost, and the version of you that's still hiding inside them. This blank spot has a name: infantile amnesia. Almost no one can recall anything before age 2 or 3. Most people's earliest solid memory doesn't even form until around 3.5. Sounds simple at first, right? Babies are just too undeveloped to remember things. Except that's flat out wrong. A 6-month-old can pick their mother's face out of a room of strangers. A 9-month-old remembers how to operate a toy they touched once, days earlier. And in about 2 years, babies learn an entire language from zero, a feat most adults couldn't pull off with Duolingo and a decade to spare. So babies clearly can remember. Short term, they're elite. Then why does all of it disappear? Let that sit for a second. Because the answer isn't, their brain wasn't working. It's the opposite. Their brain was working too fast for its own good. Deep in your brain sits a structure called the hippocampus, basically your personal memories filing cabinet. It stores the moments tied to a specific point in your life. Your first day of school. Last year's birthday. The thing you said in 7th grade that still wakes you up at 2 a.m. Here's the catch. The hippocampus is one of the last parts of your brain to finish construction. During infancy, it's flooding itself with brand new neurons at an explosive rate. And that explosive growth might be exactly what's erasing everything. Picture a library where workers are installing new shelves so fast, they keep knocking the existing books onto the floor and reshuffling them. The books aren't destroyed. The filing system is just too unstable to keep anything retrievable. Scientists tested this directly, on mice. They sped up neuron growth in some baby mice's hippocampi, and slowed it down in others. Result: the fast-growth mice forgot a learned task almost immediately. The slow-growth mice held on to it far longer. So maybe your baby brain wasn't failing to record anything. Maybe it was building its hardware too fast to keep the memory filed. Okay, pause for a second, because here's where it gets weird. If this were purely a hardware problem, once your hippocampus finished developing, around age 7, those old memories should still be sitting in there. Locked, maybe, but not gone. And there's real evidence that's actually true. For a while. In one study, kids as old as 4 could still clearly describe specific memories from when they were 2. Researchers checked back in with the same kids a year or 2 later. Most of those memories were already gone. The information didn't vanish immediately in infancy. It faded out gradually as the kids got older. Almost like their early memory files were saved in a format their older brain no longer knew how to open. Which points to a second theory. And this one isn't about brain hardware at all. It's about the language memory is written in. To form a memory you can consciously revisit later, you generally need 3 things. A sense of self. Me things are happening to. A timeline. A sense of, this happened before that happened. And language. Because most long-term memories are stored as a story you can tell yourself. Babies have none of those yet. No stable self. No timeline. No words. So even if the raw sensory footage got captured, there was no narrator built yet to file it as something you could pull up on command 20 years later. Here's the line I promised you at the start. Some psychologists argue those early experiences aren't gone. They just stopped looking like memories and started looking like instincts. That smell that instantly calms you down for no logical reason. That tone of voice that puts you on edge before you even register why. Those might be 2-year-old you, reacting to something your conscious mind can't recall, but your nervous system absolutely never forgot. Every attachment style you have. Every gut sense of safety or danger. Every foundational habit your brain wired in that pre-verbal window. It's arguably still running in the background of your life right now. The footage got deleted. The lesson stayed installed. You didn't lose those years. You just can't watch the tape anymore. Quick question before we wrap up. Do you have a weirdly specific fear, or a smell, or a sound that calms you down instantly and you have absolutely no idea why? Drop it in the comments. I'm willing to bet it traces back further than you think. Maybe further than you can even remember. So next time someone says your first 2 years don't matter because you can't remember them, that's actually backwards. Those years mattered enormously. Your brain just hadn't finished building the tool required to store them as replayable memories yet. What's left instead isn't footage, it's architecture. Wiring. Instincts, quietly running underneath everything you do today, invisible and unremembered, but absolutely still there. You didn't lose your first 2 years. You're just running on them. Quick one before you go, I want to know what your earliest memory actually is. How old were you? What's the very first thing you can remember, even if it's just a blurry flash of a color or a sound? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Hit like, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.